What is up, YouTube? James Ford here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're back in the gym and it's leg day, which is going to be very, very exciting. Now, I feel like in the most humble way possible, my legs are probably my best body part, and they've come up a hell of a lot over the years. So it's going to be really cool to take you guys through and show you kind of how I structure my leg workouts, a few tips and tricks that you can use to start getting better developed legs. Like I always think, you know, as great as it is having a great upper body, which I think should always probably still be the main focus for most people, you know, it's like if you've got a shit upper body and then great legs, it's like, looks cool, but at the same time you can look better with some big shoulders and arms. But in my opinion, you can tell how hard someone trains from the size of their legs, and it just makes someone look that much more impressive. Like, how many lads in the gym have a good upper body, but then like you kind of overlook them because you've got shit legs, but then someone walks in with like fucking godly legs and you're like, that's fucking impressive. So I think if you're neglecting legs, this may be your cue to start training a bit harder. If you're training them and not getting the results that you want to see, then this video could be the video that shows you how to actually start building some juicy fucking tree trunks, which will be cool. But we're on the way to the gym now. Got the pre-workout going in. It's Sunday. Had a pretty chill day. I've done a little bit of work in the morning, started about 5 to about 7, and then played a bit of COD. I'm playing the new COD at the moment. I've not played since I was 16, so it's been about 10 years since I played COD, and somehow I've been playing for about a week and a half now since it came out. I pre-ordered it, which isn't like me, and I'm somehow holding a positive KD, which is elite for me. But if you haven't played it and you're my age and you grew up playing Modern Warfare 2, then I highly recommend you play it, because it is fucking elite. It is basically just the exact same old maps as we used to play on Modern Warfare 2 with like Rust, High Rise, all that sort of shit. So the gamer boy has come back out of me. So done that, been to the beach, just had my pre-workout meal, watching a little bit of Sebum. Now we're off to Nexus. So I'll catch you guys at the gym. So guys, we're in for legs, and first up we have an adductor machine. Now this is something that, like, I get stick for this all the time on like Instagram, TikTok and stuff, but mainly by like noobs in the nicest way possible. Like people say it's like a gay machine or whatever, because it's the one where, like, if you have it, like, this is not what I'd use for it ideally. I'd like to use the ones where, you know, you have the machine, you close your legs like that, and that's what's going to build your adductor, so like your inner thigh. Now for me, when I first started training, for years and years, I could grow my quads, like they grew quite well, but my legs always looked real thin, so they'd like have a bit of pop forward, but they wouldn't have any like width to them. An adductor is going to give you that width. It gives you that 3D effect in your leg. So like I always start my legs with an adductor, purely just based on the fact that if I put it at the end, I'm not going to be able to lift a fraction of the amount that I can lift at the start. It's also not going to take away massively from my big compound lifts. So like me doing this first and then going on to like a leg press later on, that leg press isn't going to be massively affected by this adductor in most cases. Some people may find that affects it. For me, it doesn't. So it's like, it's much more tactical for me to put this right at the start. It's a nice way to warm up, and it's just a good way to grow that inner thigh so you can get a nice thick quad. But the way that we're going to run with this one is we've got 2 sets on the 10 to 15. Now, like I said, I've not got one of the ones where it's like you shut your legs like that, you know, so it's like the, you know, the machine I'm talking about, basically, where you sit down, close your legs. What I have is this like hip machine here. So what I'll do is I'll just stand up and pull through, and I can train my adductor single leg at a time. That still works well. I didn't like it when I first got to this gym, but we started making do. It's starting to feel pretty good now, so we're running with it. But the first set's in the 10 to 15. I'm going to do a few warm-ups. As always, guys, one of the biggest tips I could give you for growing your legs, because a lot of you, like I said, if you're watching this, you probably want to grow some legs. We want to get really fucking strong with our legs. And to do that, we can't just come in and just start fucking shifting weight. It's like, we want to work up to those weights. I only do generally 2 sets per exercise, but I'll take every single set to true failure, and I'll progress it on a week-to-week basis. That way I can ensure growth. If I was to come in and do 4 sets on this, 4 sets on hamstring curl, 4 sets on the leg step, leg extension, then go on for like a leg press, it's all just going to be like fluff volume. Like you'll see today, like my whole workout will probably be about 14 sets for the whole workout, but that'll be split over about 6-7 exercises. And that for me is what I found works best for me as an individual. So like before you jump on and say like, you can't grow with that amount of volume. You can, you just have to work out how to train with proper intensity. But we're gonna do a couple warm-up sets and then we'll jump into the top sets. So warm-up sets are there to ready us our ability, basically to maximize our readiness for the set. But I'm not trying to fatigue myself during these sets, just basically get a bit of blood flow. So guys, 2 warm-up sets have been done. I did one on like 110 and like 145. We're now gonna get 180 kilos, which is basically the full stack, plus I pinned a 20, a 10 and a 5 to it. So that's kind of what we're running with. Just like I said guys, if you get these real big and strong, you're gonna grow. So that's what we're trying to go for. But 2 sets in the 10 to 15 rep range. Last week I took my first set of 180 for 12. So this week I wanna get 13. Another way that we can make sure that we're progressing. Like, think about when you go into the gym, what are you trying to achieve? Are you just trying to cook a muscle off the bone? Or are you trying to grow it by doing something you have never done before? Like, realize your body does not want to grow muscle. Otherwise, we'd all be walking around jacked and shredded. For your body to grow muscle, we want to create an adaptive response to keep us safe to grow. Okay, so like if you can go into the gym and you do something you've never done before, i.e. add a small amount of weight, add a rep, improve form, that's going to stimulate growth so long as you're eating correctly. Rather than just going in and thinking, like, you know, you do a chest day and you fucking cook it off the bone and you're like, brilliant. It's like, actually, if you can go in to do a chest day and you can progress every single lift and you've done something you've never done before, in each and every lift, you're going to grow. Like, you've done something you've never done, your body will adapt and grow. So that's the premise that we run by, is we're going to work in the same exercises, in the same order, in the same rep ranges every week. Every week we're going to either add a rep or a small amount of weight. And if we don't, we either need more food or we need less volume so that we're able to progress. General premise. But I'm going to get stuck into this one now. 2 sets, 10, 15. We actually took up like 15, so next week we go up in weight. But I'm happy with that, because like I said, last week 12, this week 15. I won't show you the rest of the set because it's boring, but I'll do another one on my right, then I'm going to do a set, 2 on my left, set 2 on my right, then we're going to move on. I'm going to catch you in the next exercise. So guys, we've now done 2 sets on the adductor. First set, both sets at 180 kilos, first set 15 reps, second set 10 reps, okay? So drop for the second set. Now, if I was getting less than 10, it would mean I'd have to lower the weight for the next set, because we're trying to fall in that 10 to 15 rep range. Because on the first set I got 15, next week I'll increase the weight. So I've only got about 190 or maybe even 200 kilograms, and that'll knock me back down the rep range and I can build up. So the fact that we progressed that this week, on paper, we should grow. So we've done something we've not done before, we're eating sufficiently, we're in a calorie surplus, we'll grow. Now next up, I've got a lion leg curl. I've got 3 sets on a lion leg curl. Now I did say earlier, everything's 2. The reason I have 3 on a lion leg curl is it's a muscle group that handle that a bit more volume for me, and it's like, you don't really hit it as much in, you don't really hit it as much in like the big presses and things like that. So that's a lot more quad focused. Don't get me wrong, you will hit your hamstrings on like a leg press on a squat, whatever, but it's going to primarily hit your quads. So it's like, we want to make sure that we're putting a bit more volume into hamstrings. You know, once again, talking about how, you know, earlier when I was saying how most people have like lagging legs, you see a lot of people who do have good legs, including myself, they usually have very strong quads and then piss poor hamstrings. So it's like, I'm trying to not be that guy and make sure I bring up my hamstrings, so a little bit more volume on my hammies is going to be good. Now once again, I've got 3 sets in the 10 to 15 rep range. Last week I did 45 on this hamstring curl, which doesn't sound like much, but this hamstring curl is really, really humbling. Like usually, hammy curls, leg extension in most gyms, like I'll be maxing out and maybe even adding plates too. I train at a powerlifting gym at the moment. For some reason the machines are just so heavy, so we're just working with what we got, but it's a good thing. But I don't want to be at the top of the stack because it makes it harder to progress. we're going to do 45. Last time I got 13 reps, so we want to get 14 reps of that. We'll then go down to 40. Last week we got 12, so we want 13 reps of that. We then go down to 35 kilo. Last week we got 13 on that, so we want to get 14 now. So I hope you guys are starting to get like the gist about how we train. We log everything, we progress week to week. Just like with food, how we can slowly increment it over time. With your training, if it's consistent and it's controlled, you can progress it over time. But if it's all over the place, just like your food, you can't control things. It's like we just want to get that control. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to get stuck in now, guys. 2 warm-up sets. So 45 kilograms, we want to go for 14 reps at a minimum. Whoa. Let's hit that 15, guys. Everything's moving really nicely today, which is nice. I feel like this off season is starting to take shape now, which means we're going to be growing, which is good. But we've got 2 more sets on this, both in the 10 to 15, so we're going to lower the weight for the next set, progress that one, lower the weight for the next one after that, progress that one, and then we'll move on. So guys, that's hamstring curls done. We've done 3 sets on that in the 10 to 15 rep range. Beat set number 1 and set number 3, set number 2 stalled. So we'll take it, still a win. The reason we placed that there, so I forgot to mention it, the reason why we had a hamstring curl before the compounds is it's going to allow the knees to warm up, so we're going to get a bit of movement around the knees, we're going to get some blood flow in the legs. Once again, it's not going to take away massively from the compound lifts. But if I did the compounds first and did this at the end, so I'll be mentally fatigued, I'll be physically fatigued. And I'm trying to bring up my hamstrings, like, you know, so this is how I've ran my leg days for as long as I can remember. Adductor, hamstring curl. Leg extension, sometimes before compounds, sometimes after, depending on how I'm structuring my split at the time. At the moment I've got it before. So this is going to be next, and then I'm going to run into my compound lifts. When I go into my compounds, I have blood in my quads and I have blood in my hamstrings. My joints are going to be warm. It's not just going to be like a massive shock to the system. Like if you come into the gym and you just get under a squat bar, you don't warm up, and like, you know, 1, you're asking for injury, and 2, you're asking to not perform at your best. And what we're trying to do every time we get into a set is perform at our absolute best. That's how we grow. You know, it's about quality over quantity. That's the way I look at things. So just make sure that every time you go in to an exercise, you're at the most ready position you possibly could be to take that set where it needs to go for you to grow. But we've got 2 sets on leg extension. I'm going to do a quick warm up, both sets in the 10 to 15 again. I had knee issues, but they're feeling pretty good at the moment. But yeah, let's see how we feel. So guys, 2 warm-up sets done. We're now going to go into our working sets. Now last week I got 80 kilograms to 15. Now working in 10 to 15 rep range, so we're going to up the weight. Now a lot of people, if they're going to up the weight, they wouldn't just do a small jump. They go like 80 to 90 or 100, or like they just test the limits and do a small jump. So we're just going to go up to 85 kilograms. We take the small wins. I'm going to try and take that for 15. So it's a progression in weight. Even if I take it to 12, it's still a progression because it's higher weight. Then we progress it on a week to week. So it's like take the small jumps on a week to week, and it's going to yield big results over time. Like I said it before, you know, you add a kilogram to this every week, 50 kilos in a year, 52 kilos in a year. I got corrected last time. I know there's 52 weeks in a year. Just round it up for ease. Right. That was 15, but we'll count 14 because that last one was a little bit sloppy. So guys, up next we have split squats. So my coach wants me doing these on a Smith machine, but I haven't got a Smith machine. So I'm running them on a safety bar, and we've got this cool little attachment to the gym where I put my leg at the back and I can go down. I fucking hate these. I'm the complete level with you guys. I hate them, but I love them. So it's like, I'm glad he's put them in my plan, because I was doing my own programming, I wouldn't do them. I will say as well, this isn't what I've used to build my legs up to where they are now. This is something that's only just come in my plan. Now, if I was structuring my own and my knees were up for it, I would now go into my first heavy compound movement. This is a compound movement, but I'd run either a hack squat, a barbell squat, a pendulum squat, a V squat, some form of squat pattern movement where I can really load up my quads. Now, the issue I have right now is my knees are in recovery, so I can't run barbell squats, I can't run hack squats, I can't run pendulums, like they hurt too much. I'll run a leg press, which is what I run next after this, but I can get away with this, I get away with a belt squat as well. They're pretty much it. So like, if I was you guys at home and I was trying to go for overall leg development, I'm not saying don't do these are still great, but if I had to pick between this and then a squat pattern of choice, I'd pick that squat pattern where I'm able to load it up fully. Like, I built my legs up through barbell squats. You don't need barbell squats to build good legs. I have an identical twin brother who was never barbell squatted, and his legs are arguably better than mine, just from using those machine movements and progressing those. But I've got 2 sets on this, 2 sets of fucking hell. And the problem with this is because it's single leg. It's technically 4 sets. So I go 1 on my left, 1 on my right, 1 on my left, 1 on my right. So it's like, it's gonna be a lot. But I'm gonna do a warm up on this, then we're gonna wrap up and then get stuck in. So guys, we've warmed up. I'm actually terrified for this. I've had to go up weight. So last week I went 98 kilos, and you may be looking at, oh, it's a 25 and a 15. This is actually 100 and, I don't know, 108, something like that. I've added an extra 10 kilo. The bar's 28 kilo. But just warmed up, guys. Honestly, I fucking dread this set. And you'll probably notice as well, sorry, the cockroach over there, it's fucking gross. You'll probably notice I will hold on to the rack. So before anyone comments, like, you're holding the rack when you're doing the split squats, I know, like, I will physically fall over if I don't hold the rack. Like, I was trying to do it without holding the rack last couple of weeks. I just lose balance after a few reps, especially on my right leg, which I broke my right leg as a kid. So I don't know if that's added a thing to that, but I just struggle to balance on it a little bit. So when I'm holding the rack, I'm literally just doing it for stability reasons. I'm not like yanking myself up. And that's the beauty of using a safety bar, is that I don't need to hold the bar, it will just sit on my shoulders. So fucking, let's get stuck into this then. I'm gonna try to get 15 on each leg, but we'll see how we go. Like, I got 15 of 10 kilos lighter last week, so we'll see how we go. Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Oh. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh. 15. So guys, we took 15 on the left. Now we've got to take 15 on the right to like match for the first set. I'll film this one, but I won't film the second set because it'll be too long. But honestly, I fucking hate this shit. Oh, I'm also now the only one in the gym, so no staff, no members, no nothing. So if I was ever going to die on anything, it would probably be this. Oh. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh. Fuck. Did 15, but I'm going to count 13 because those last couple I used my hands to help me up. Fuck. Oh. Catch you guys on the leg press. As predicted, guys, that was fucking horrendous. So 2 sets done on that. I beat both of last week's sets though, so I'm happy. It wasn't wasted effort. Now we've got a leg press. 2 sets of this. I can't remember the rep range. I'll pull it up now. 2 sets in the 10 to 15 rep range once again. Last week I think I ran 320 kilo for 11, which is 8 20 plates per side. I'll take that for 11. So we'll go for 12 today. Just gonna chuck a few plates on and just do like a warm up. And I'll probably do a few warm ups on this just because it's a heavy compound. So we definitely don't just want to jump straight into top set. But I'll probably run 4 plates aside just for the first warm up. Then go 6 plates aside for a couple of reps. And then we'll jump into 8 plates aside for our set. So guys, I've done 2 warm-up sets. We did a warm-up set of 4 plates aside, then we went to 6 plates aside for like 4 reps. We're now going 8 plates aside and we have to take it to 12 reps. I've left it a minute since my last warm-up, I'm not gonna lie. I feel pretty battered. So like, it's taken me a minute just getting to set. But I'm taking it to fucking 12. I wanna beat last week's. You know, and like, I have 2 opportunities here, set 1 and set 2 to progress this lift. And that's the mindset you have to have going into these sets. Because the reality is like, if I'm not progressing these, I'm not growing. So it's pointless, kind of. So to me, I'm just like, I have 2 opportunities to grow. Got to fucking maximize each and every one of them. So you just got to get in the zone before each set. Fuck. Oh, yeah. We did it. Fuck. On leg days, I literally make sure I've done all my work and everything I have to do before I train. Because when I get home later, I'm going to be just out for the fucking count. That's why I like to do legs on a Sunday, because I can actually relax afterwards. Fuck. 1 more set on this. Okay guys, last set on this. I pulled a plate off. So 7 plates aside, it's like 280 plus whatever the fucking leg press weighs. Last week I got this at 10, still going to take it for more than 10. And I just want to say guys, if you're still watching up to this point, massive thank you. You know, it's like, I've been putting a lot more love into the content side of things recently. I absolutely love YouTube. So it's something that I've wanted to do for so long. And like, if you go back through my page, you see like, I've been doing it for like 2 years now, but just not consistently. And this is the most consistent I've been. I'm receiving the most love for it, getting the most views for it. Not saying my page is doing well or anything, but like for me, it's doing really well. And it's just nice to see. So like, if you're still watching now, if you're subscribing to the channel, if you're liking, if you're commenting, like, appreciate you more than you know, because this is a channel that I want to scale, you know, and it's I want to be able to provide as much value to all you guys as possible. I think what I like to see myself of is someone who can bridge the gap between the bodybuilding world and lifestyle, because I do live like a bodybuilder, but I also have a lifestyle approach. Like, I'm not like, you know, fucking all out till like my fucking hands bleed, you know what I mean? I'm not, see so many guys that are just like, it has to be this way, it has to be that way, you know, and like slating people for having like, if they have like a relaxed meal or something like that, even if it's tracked. So I want to show you guys how you can make fucking phenomenal progress, drip feed all the knowledge that I get from watching the hardcore guys and watching the guys at the top and all the things that I study, but in a more like lifestyle based way, so you can still continue living a good life but make sick progress. I know that not all of you out there want to be a fucking bodybuilder, so I get it. So I hope you guys can get that from these videos, and, you know, watching my full days of eating and realizing that I don't just eat chicken and rice 5 times a day. But appreciate you guys. Right, at least 11. Oh, fuck. Yes. Yes. Fuck. Oh. This leg press done. One more exercise I'm going to show you guys now. Last set is an improvisation set, guys. So we've got a medicine ball. Now you're probably wondering what the hell I'm doing here. I'm doing calf raises. We haven't got a calf raise machine at this gym, so I've had to improvise. I was trying to do it on a shoulder press set that we've got. I've tried it on the hamstring curl by putting a plate underneath. This is what I find to work the best here. If you have a calf raise machine, don't do this. Use a calf raise machine. But I have to use a medicine ball because otherwise this pad hits my legs when I calf press. So I sit on the medicine ball and then I'm able to like get up here. But improvisation. It'd be very easy to just not do calf raises. You know, it's easy to not train calves. But after about a month here, I found this out after like improvising and trying different things. But we've got 3 or 4 sets on calves, I think I've got actually. We're going to jump straight in. 240 kilo first set. I got 12 last week, so we're going to go for 13. Fuck. So guys, that is legs done. Hopefully you guys took some stuff away from it to kind of like overview the whole session, and not the actual exercises, I'm not going to run through those, but like the premise of how we train to build maximum amount of muscle in my head. Now, I'm not saying this is the only way to do things or the best way to do things, but it's what I do and it's what's worked for me. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Now, the way I train is I usually run a top set and a back off set. You'll see now like I'm doing most sets in the 10 to 15, but generally the way I built my legs was first set in the 6 to 9 rep range, second set in the 10 to 15 rep range. Before I go into those sets, I will do warm-up sets. Okay, so I might, if I was on a squat, I might do like 4 warm-up sets before I go into those 2 top sets, but I'll then progress those sets every single week. And if I'm not progressing, like my biggest off season where my legs grew massively, I was running push-pull legs and I stopped progressing. So then I placed another rest day before my leg day, so I went push-pull, rest, legs, rest. So I was like resting more, so I was able to progress. So rather than just thinking, okay, more volume is going to equal more growth, I was thinking, no, more progress is going to equal more growth. So taking that step back was allowing me to take 2 steps forward. Hopefully you guys get that, and hopefully you guys can take some value and maybe implement some of it into your training, maybe don't. But I hope you guys took something away. If you did like the video, make sure you hit that sub button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.